Hello patrons, welcome back to another week of me sharing my badly written stories. So as some of you might remember, last time I got 100% on my hiragana quiz, so I decided to add katakana into the equation, hoping to drag down the test results, and surprise surprise, that's exactly what happened. I think I got like 35 points on the katakana quiz, and combined with my 95 points from my hiragana quiz, it rounded up to 65 points I think, which meant that I had to write a story that was 3,000 words long, which I guess I did, but at the same time, it ended up being almost double the size. So, what is the story, you might ask? Well, as some of you might still remember from my last video, I wanted to write a series based around a card game, which meant that I had to create an entire new game, which I guess that is what I ended up doing at the end of the day, although there is a slight change from what I had originally said. In truth, this is less of a card game and more of a turn-based RPG soccer game that's modeled after cards, and it's also a gacha game, which many people already consider those card games anyway, so I guess it doesn't really make that much of a difference, though of course it does depend on the game. Now, the reason why I went with this was that, one, it's more reflective of current times, and two, it's a game that involves a lot of numbers that can affect certain actions, which wouldn't be very practical in universe for them to just develop it as a physical card game when they can just develop a video game instead. Plus, this approach also allows me to let some character cards to evolve, and it would justify the power increase in some of the antagonists, which I think would inevitably happen as I write more. Now granted, a lot of my ideas are still there, and they actually make more sense for this platform. The only difference is that no one will play with physical cards, but that's really it. The game itself, I try not to make it too complicated, and I also decided to be a bit conservative with the numbers. I've actually avoided being specific with the stat numbers just in case stuff happens later on that could muddy and overlap with the scaling of the characters, kind of like what happened with the power levels in Dragon Ball, except in my case it would probably be a lot worse because I have to consider game balance a lot more. I'm not going to be surprised if some character cards end up being broken or poorly balanced, but I still need to create some sense of fairness somewhat. The doc I'll link has prologue in chapter 1. The first official chapter actually ended sooner than where I wanted it to end, and it's left on a cliffhanger. There's more I want to do with the series, although things are still kept simple. I'm actually thinking about releasing a small guide just to explain a couple of things that might be left a little too vague. So is the book good? Well, that's up for you to decide. One thing I will do is publish it on my Wattpad page, which I will make it public, hopefully. I'm actually writing this the day before Friday, and I still want to read it one more time for editing purpose. Besides that, I've actually been writing a script for another video in the midst of all of this. It's another tier list on a series of games I may have already talked about on this channel. I'll be recording the video probably a couple of days after I upload this. As for when it comes out, it depends on my time because I'm just gonna go ahead and say it, it's not gonna be a short video. And man, oh man, do I love recording and editing long videos. It's my favorite part of the job. Fuck. Anyway, might stream tonight, so tune in for that. I'll be seeing you all soon. Goodbye.